Depending on which version of SOLIDWORKS you have, for example, if you have Professional or Premium, you may have access to certain add-ins. One of these add-ins is called the Toolbox, which can be very useful for adding all sorts of standard hardware into your assemblies. You can turn on the Toolbox add-in by going to the Options drop-down, Add-ins, and in the pop-up, check the box next to SOLIDWORKS Toolbox Browser and SOLIDWORKS Toolbox, then click OK. Once the add-in is loaded, you can browse to the Design Library in the Task pane and you will see the Toolbox selection available. If you expand Toolbox, you can see a list of all the different standards that you have available and installed on your machine, including some proprietary fasteners, such as PEM and Torrington. For this example, since I'm working in inches, I will use the ANSI inch standard. When expanding ANSI inch standard, you can see a list of the different types of hardware that we can add. I'd like to add hex head bolts, so I will browse to this, its location, and we can see several different options. I will select the standard hex bolt and drag it into the graphics area and click to place the component. The Configure Component feature manager will pop up, which displays the different properties of the selected component. You should have noticed that the component simply snapped into place when moved to the graphics area. This is a design functionality that is built in to special Toolbox components called Smart Components, and they have mate references that allow them to automatically be mated with other components in an assembly. SOLIDWORKS automatically selects the proper size of the component based on the fact that the holes in the bracket component were created using the Hole Wizard, so it knows what size of hardware to add. But if you would like to change the size, you can do so by selecting it from the drop-down. I'll leave the default. You also have additional options here in the Property Manager. You can adjust the length of the Toolbox component from the drop-down. You can also adjust the thread length. And you can also choose how the thread is displayed. If I look at this hex bolt here and choose the Cosmetic option, you can see that a graphic of the thread appears. Now, the Cosmetic thread option is purely for cosmetic purposes only, and it is not actually adding a thread to the part. If I choose the Schematic option, this actually cuts the thread into the bolt and is the most realistic, but is also the most memory intensive. So, if you are using a lot of the same components in your assembly, and you don't care all that much about the realism of the threads, I recommend using either Simplified or Cosmetic. I'll go ahead and choose the Cosmetic option so that we still have a nice thread appearance without using up too much computer memory. You can add a comment, and you can choose to give this configuration a unique name. SOLIDWORKS already does a really good job naming configurations. You can see that size, the length, and the C for Cosmetic as well in the configuration name, making it very easy to read if you can decipher the code. With the component configured, I'll click the green check and it is added to the assembly. Notice that you are automatically placed in the Insert Component mode, so you can simply click to snap in additional Toolbox parts, making it very easy and fast to add hardware. With the 4 bolts added, I can right-click. I can either click the red X or press the Escape key on my keyboard to exit the Insert Component mode. And you can see how we can use the Toolbox add-in to add standard hardware very efficiently into our assemblies.